got so much stuff to show you on JTV, you're going to be on sensory overload this week. We're going to talk about decorating a vase. Now I know we all think about the vase in our flower shop, and the vase is the receptacle for our flowers. But what if our vase had a story to tell too? That's what we're going to learn about this week. There's so many great things out there that can take this ordinary vase that we have every single day in our flower shop and make it more special and more exciting. There's a great product out there from Accent Decor that I'm going to put on this beautiful ginger urn from Brody called Vase Jewelry. And Vase Jewelry is just that. It's jewelry for your vase. So we can take this wonderful beaded garland, we're going to wrap it around the vase itself. These are 9-foot garlands, and what we do, we don't have to use the whole thing on one vase. Because it's wire, we can twist it around too, so we can secure it wherever we'd like it. Got our nippers, and suddenly we have a decorated vase that's a little bit dressier than the one we saw before. So, are you ready? Let's look at a bunch of other things we can do today to make your vase super. There's a lot of products that are out there in today's marketplace that add texture to what we see. Color has been so very important for so long, and now texture is the thing that everyone's looking for. For example, in our first bubble bowl that we have here, we've got a product called Sandtastic. Sandtastic is a chipped glass that's colored. So in this beautiful bubble bowl, we've used a little bit of blue down inside there. We could fill this with water and put our flowers on top, and that would give us almost an aquarium type look. But let's not forget the opportunity to layer the product too. So we can take blue and lavender and layer them over the top of one another. So we've got the blue, and let's add a little bit of it. Let's add just a little bit of the purple over the top of the blue. Notice the great layering that we get. That adds texture and color for your customer. So don't forget about using two colors together. This wonderful square vase is also a really updated way for us to look at a product. In the same manner, this is a new product from Accent Decor called Raindrops. These little guys look just like colored raindrops, and they're made out of plastic. They come in all different colors, and they really have a cool reflective quality. Obviously, I'm going to choose the orange and green, and we're going to layer them into our vase. But let's turn the vase just a little bit sideways and add our next layer. That way, we start to get an interesting stripe that's going to be on the bias. Notice the great striped look. That updates that vase and makes it very cool for our customers. What a great color for JTV. So don't think about setting it straight. Put it on an angle first before you add that product. Now over here, the inventive people at Coe Pick, who brought us incredible wood picks all these years that we use for all sorts of utilitarian products, have now brought us their designer stone collections. And these designer stones are incredible. Hot colors on smooth stones, just like this, or on a little bit more textured stone. And we've got different types of stones that we can use and create different sorts of textures. I love this vase from Accent Decor. has great streamlined lines, and it looks really wonderful. In this case, I'm going to add 2 bags at the same time to give a divided look, and we'll follow it up with 2 more. What we've done then is created a vasescape for our customers. It makes a lot of interest and at the same time adds that great look of texture to every single thing we do. Ribbon is a great creative way for us to bring a cylinder vase, update it a little bit more, and make it exciting for the customers who are going to see it. I love some of the textural pieces like the raffia that's available from Berwick Offray, and I love their snowball ribbon. So what we're going to do is we'll start with the raffia first. Using that great color, we're just going to bind it around the vase itself. And you know what? There's no rhyme or reason. It needs to look a little bit unexpected and a little bit arbitrary. We want to make sure that we keep a very casual appearance of having this raffia going around the outside. A little bit too tight, and it's going to look like we did it on purpose. We want it to be more casual. Let's tie that little guy in a knot. Trim him up with our scissors and add a little bit of the snowball cord. I love the snowball cord because of the great texture it has, and at the same time, it's just real fun. With a wire base, it looks really good. So we can grab the ends and simply twist them together. Leaving a little bit extra of the cord, we can just curl that around, almost making like a little pigtail. Now that's a great fun update for some beautiful flowers to be dropped in there. But ribbon can be an important part about what we do if we add a little bit of texture. So here we're going to use some wire from Parawire to help create some really good looking colors. This vase looks really great, but at the same time, I want to add an incredible ribbon pattern around the outside. So we'll wrap this vase with our ribbon, turning the ends of the ribbon inside. Now instead of sealing it in something and trying to conceal how we put our mechanics together, we're going to use colored wire around the outside so that we expose the mechanics and create a little bit of a textural nuance. Wrap the ends of our wire together, and we can curl those again. So now we've got another fun way to update a bud vase really quick and easily. When we look at these different things, it's an easy, fast way for us to change our vases so they don't look like anybody else's. So let's look at something else we can wrap around the vase. Here, we've got the great new colored cubes from Syndicate. These guys are incredible. Number one, just because they have a great color. And we can use the Deco Jewelry from Berwick Offray and wrap it around the outside of the container, just like we did with the ribbon. But you know what? On JTV, we like to do things a little bit differently to give you the inside track. We're going to take some Deco Jewelry and wrap it around a different way. We're going over the top of the vase rather than around the side. This allows us to create an armature type presentation for our flowers. Our flowers simply are going to slide through here and the wire is going to help hold them in place. It's a great way for us to update the look and make it completely different than what our competitor might be doing. So let's think about flowers inside a vase too. A great way to dress up a vase would be that flowers would go down inside. So using a simple flower frog, and I'm crazy about these, they used them for many years. Imagine if this was the only way that you could make an arrangement. What a cool thing to think about now that we have a great product like Artesia. We can make our flowers very short and place them down inside the vase so that we have a contained arrangement. In that same manner, we can talk about making a vase a little more decorative using a foliage product. Lily grass is one of my favorites. We simply grab a few stems of lily grass and stick them in upside down into our design. This adds interest inside the container itself. We add a few more to go the opposite direction. So that we have something interesting happening inside the vase after the flowers are placed in there. You know, crystals have become extremely popular. There's a product called California Crystals that's out there. You've all seen it. It's a polymer agent that's used in the nursery industry to help keep plants wet in very, very dry climates. We use it for decorative purposes. And you know what? The brilliant people at Accent Decor came up with something even better. They came up with polymer and clay marbles. So we've placed the polymer inside here and allowed our vase to be full of water, let the polymer sit for 15 or 20 minutes, actually absorbing the water. Now, we can add clay marbles on top and push them down inside to create a really great effect. Adding a little bit of water on top of that allows us to see those marbles even more clearly. You know, I always have a decorative chopstick handy so that I can push these down just even a little bit more. So the look is really spectacular. That's fun. And what about our great big champagne glass? That's a great thing to think about, but really hard to decorate this area. So, another great product that really adds sparkle and pizzazz is Vase Jewelry. Little hooks with beautiful gems that can be hung on the side of arrangements and dangled down. All sorts of fun things can happen with those, and they come in a wide variety of colors. So just think about adding a little sparkle on the side of your vase container. Now this guy, that's an incredible vase. There's really not a whole lot that you have to do to this, except that you want to add focus to this portion of the vase. That's simply done by adding just a little bit of vase color. So we've added a little bit of the orange, and look at, because as that color moves down the vase, it really makes it incredible and really changes the way that we're able to see this. Too bad our customers aren't going to get to see this great portion of it, but at the same time, what a fun way for us to play with science and work with our vases at the same time. You know, we're doing a lot of different things to vases today that aren't involving flowers, because we're helping that glass vase become a little bit more important in the floral design that you're creating. So planning those mechanics ahead of time is all part of the inventive way and the new great creative things that you get to see at JTV. All right. Let's talk about light for half a second too, because it would be really cool to have this wonderful arrangement that has great interest down below because of our lily grass that's down inside there. But what if we could light that up from the inside? Well, our friends at Acolyte have created some great submergible acolytes that go down inside the vase. The light lasts about 18 hours, and the batteries are replaceable, so you can use them time and time again. Now look how incredible that light looks for this arrangement. Let's think about changing that up a little bit and adding one of our submergibles to our crystals from before. Look at how they look like ice around the outside too. That's a great way for us to use up a few more of them. And those will remain on the table for about 10 hours before they dry back up into crystals, and we can just vacuum them up or blow them away. But now we have light on the inside of this vase too. So don't forget to think about how we can use those to help make a party a little bit more special. Imagine a great big party with these on every single table, and how wonderful that light would be dancing all the way across that whole reception hall. You know, there's times when we have vases that are incredible like this, and we just wish people could see them a little bit more. This decorative vase that's made of lavender glass is a really wonderful product, but wouldn't it be great if we could see a little bit more of it? This is a new product from Acolyte as well, called the Illuminator. The Illuminator is a series of LED lights that are rechargeable. You simply place your charger in, and voila, we have a lighted base that will light up any beautiful glass object. Whether we use this or this, it gives us a great illumination. This lasts for 18 hours and can be recharged 600 times. So imagine all the opportunities when you're working with party props. Not only does it sit underneath, it can also sit on top of containers as well. So think about the versatility that's available and out there for you from people who make great lighted products and all the wonderful things that you've seen today. We've seen a lot of different items that allow you to do different things with vases before your flowers go into them, making your vase just a little bit more important, making you stand out a little bit more, making you have a few secrets that you learned right here at JTV.